We've all been to McDonald's. The warm fries, the friendly faces, the golden arches welcoming us home. But what if one night, the arches led you somewhere else? Somewhere dark, somewhere hungry. Tonight, you'll hear the terrifying truth behind a McDonald's location that doesn't show up on any map. A place where smiles are permanent and customers never leave. This is not your average Happy Meal. This is the McDonald's horror story. It started like any other evening, quiet, routine, and perfectly forgettable. The golden arches lit up against the twilight sky, welcoming hungry customers into the warm interior. The familiar scent of fries and sizzling patties filled the air. People laughed, orders were called, cups clinked. But beneath all that everyday normalcy, something unnatural stirred. They say the location had always been off, built on land no one wanted, surrounded by empty lots and flickering street lamps. No matter how much the city expanded, that one corner of town never seemed to change. Employees came and went quickly, never staying more than a few weeks. Locals joked that the place was cursed, but nobody really believed it. Not until the night when the doors refused to unlock, trapping everyone inside. At first, it felt like a glitch, a mechanical failure. Customers laughed it off, assuming someone would come by with a key. But then the lights began to dim. One by one, the overhead bulbs flickered and died, plunging the space into an amber gloom. The digital menus glitched. Images of burgers warped into static, and the smiling cartoon characters on the screens began to distort, eyes stretching, mouths twisting unnaturally. No one could explain the sudden cold that crept into the restaurant. It wasn't just the air. It felt like it was seeping into bones, into the mind. Time felt strange. Phones stopped working. Watches froze. People began to panic. The manager tried to call for help, but the landline emitted nothing but garbled whispers, like children murmuring from the end of a long, dark tunnel. Then came the smell. It wasn't grease or old food. It was rot, wet, ancient, crawling into the nose and staying there. People covered their faces. Some gagged. But the smell didn't go away. It thickened, as if something had been rotting behind the walls for years. One man tried to pry open a vent to see where it came from, but what he found wasn't garbage or old food. It was teeth. Tiny, human-like teeth jammed between the grates, as if something or someone had tried to crawl through but was crushed in the process. The man screamed, but his voice sounded distant, like it was being swallowed by the air. That's when the play area lights turned on. No one had gone near the play zone in hours. It was dark, dusty, and always avoided. Children in the neighborhood said something lived in the tunnels, something that crawled just out of sight. But now the plastic tubes glowed a sickly red, and a low mechanical lullaby played from the speakers above. Slowly, a plastic Ronald McDonald statue turned its head. It wasn't supposed to move, but it did. Its painted eyes blinked. Its smile widened, not through animatronics, but like flesh stretching under plastic. One child pointed, whispering, "He's waking up." People tried to break the windows, but the glass wouldn't budge. Not a crack, not a shiver. Even the fire exits were sealed shut, as if the building had grown over them. A teenage employee grabbed a fryer basket, slamming it against the door, shouting. The sound rang out once, and then stopped. The echo didn't return. Instead, a voice came from the drive-through speaker. Not a person, not a machine. Just a low, oily whisper. "Would you like fear with that?" Everyone froze. The menu screens lit up again, but now they showed things no one could describe. Shifting images, faces without features, children with melted skin holding happy meals, a clown standing in fire, offering something in his hand, and below each image, a price. Someone touched the touchscreen menu. It burned their finger. More whispers came. Each speaker around the restaurant began playing something different. Laughter, weeping, begging, overlapping, rising into chaos. Some tried to cover their ears. Others just stared, silent and wide-eyed, as if hypnotized. Then the fryers turned on their own. No one was near them. Oil bubbled violently, spitting out onto the tiles. The grill sizzled. Frozen patties slid onto the metal surface, unprompted. Spatulas moved as if held by invisible hands. The back kitchen doors slammed open, revealing nothing but blackness behind them. A noise rose from the dark, a dragging sound, wet and heavy. They say one man went back there, thinking it was some prank or breakdown. But he never returned. Only his uniform came back out, folded neatly on the counter, still warm, grease stains shaped like fingerprints across the chest. People began seeing things, shapes in the drink machine's reflection, a pale face pressed against the soda glass, children with hollow eyes peeking from inside the napkin dispenser. The ketchup dispensers oozed a darker red, smelling like rust and metal. The lobby grew colder. The lights above the tables flickered in rhythm, almost like Morse code. One woman said it was spelling words, but before she could say what they were, her voice was cut off. Literally. Her mouth simply vanished, just skin where lips should be. Others tried to scream, but nothing came out. The silence grew, not just in volume, but in pressure. It felt like standing at the bottom of the ocean, crushed by unseen weight. Those who prayed found their words twisted. They couldn't remember their own names. Their reflections in the windows didn't move when they did. A young boy walked toward the play area, drawn by invisible hands. His mother screamed silently, clawing at the air to stop him. But the boy crawled inside. He never came out. The music changed again, this time to distorted jingles. Familiar McDonald's tunes played backwards. Beneath the sound, someone, something, was breathing heavily. The counter bell rang once, a new order. On the screen it read, "One soul, extra screams, no escape." The kitchen roared to life. Machines moved, boxes opened, but there were no employees left. No staff, just movement, chopping, frying, grinding. People backed into corners, sobbing silently. The air turned thick with the scent of meat and fear. Then the doors finally opened, but no one ran, because outside was worse. The parking lot stretched into blackness. The sky was gone. The arches towered higher than before, glowing red instead of yellow. A clown stood near the edge of the lot, waving slowly. Behind him were countless Happy Meal boxes, each moving slightly, each whispering. Some walked out. They say they're still out there, changed, pale, smiling too wide, drawn to places with arches and fries and false joy. And sometimes, at 3:33 a.m., if you pull into an empty McDonald's and sit too long in the drive-thru without ordering, a voice might greet you, not from the speaker, but from the seat behind you. "Welcome back. We've missed you." They'll never find that restaurant again. Not on any map, not in any GPS. It appears when it wants, feeds when it's hungry, and disappears without trace. But the stories remain. A cursed place dressed like comfort. A brand built on smiles. Real ones, stolen ones, permanent ones. The McDonald's that feeds on people, not just profit. So next time you order a burger and fries, take a closer look. Behind the counter, behind the smiles, behind the grease, what do you really see? And when the lights flicker, when the fryer sizzles on its own, when the clown on the wall turns his head just a little too far, don't look back, don't scream, because here, you're the meal. If you ever find yourself at a McDonald's after midnight and something feels off, the lights flicker, the fryer turns on by itself, the clown on the wall looks too real, leave. Don't order, don't speak. Because once the arches claim you, there's no refund. Remember, at this McDonald's, you are the special of the day. And the only thing they serve hot is fear. Stay safe, stay full, and never trust the smile behind the counter.